All right, folks, welcome to Ysn Prime Time. We get you ready for all the action. Regional championships on the line. My name is Mike Ackelson. I'm with Nick Zeronis. We are in every location tonight. Nick and I are at Springfield. DJ and the coach are up in Mentor, Ohio for the big Kirtland South Range Showdown. And then in Youngstown, Ohio, I got Quinn and Jamie sitting up there for the Ursuline Irish Mentor Lake Catholic game. What a night, guys. DJ, we'll start with you, Division 5, number 1 against number 2, both undefeated.
Yeah, when you look at this game on paper, it's one that Kirtland should win, quite honestly. But then when you look at what South Range has dealt with adversity all season, I really think our boys are prepped. There's a confidence, there's a swagger to them here this week, and I feel like it's going to be a good game, and I really feel good for the Raiders as we head towards kickoff.
Well, I think the big thing, and Nick can jump in here with me, they remember that loss last year,
yes,
38-7, Nick.
They sure do.
Kirtland kind of had their way with them, and I think it's been revenge for a whole year. Everything has been circled, get to Kirtland.
And you said DJ swagger. Can there be any more of a quarterback that fits that description than Mike Patron for South Range? That is swagger.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun last night, though.
Yeah, Mike Patron is, he's geared up. Since the last time we talked to him, I think all he's done is take an ice baths and scout Kirtland 24/7. Like, with the way people watch YSN, he's been watching Kirtland this week. So it's interesting to see what they're going to do. But, we saw it in Warren JFK last night. We saw that this is a multiple-headed monster. This is a 3, 4, 5-headed monster that Kirtland's going to have to deal with. And I got to be honest with you, I don't think they faced anybody with this many weapons all year long. So I really think it's South Range playing with house money. They feel like they're playing with house money. And by golly, I think that they're going to bring home the house when it's all said and done.
I really hope they do. But the one thing I've been looking at all week, defensively, they've got to play better than what they did against Crestview.
Yeah, I think that they just have to put I don't want to say a better effort because that's not the right context, but I think they've got to put a more complete game together from the first whistle to the last one. And we saw them start a little slow, almost off balance against Crestview. Crestview did a great job of doing their due diligence in the film room. And Paul Cusick, he's a great offensive mind. There's nothing to take away from him. But reality is this is the stage that defense starts to win championships for you. And this defense has been outstanding, led by, some of the guys, Luke Crumbacher in the defensive backfield. We spotlighted him on the player profile today. And you look at, seemingly every week, somebody else steps up. So who's going to be the spotlight player for South Range tonight? To be determined.
And I wanted to make that point too, DJ, real quick. You said about Crestview. Let's give them credit. Like you said, they played an outstanding game, but South Range was able to combat that. So they're gonna get an outstanding game tonight. There's no doubt about it from Kirtland. So can they do that again 2 weeks in a row? Can they combat a team that's playing up to their level?
Well, they've done it 9 times in a row so far. So I like their chances. If this was a team coming off of a loss or two, I would say yeah. But I feel like we've been putting the sticks to South Range all year long, and wait till they beat this team. Wait till they beat this team. Wait, you know who they remind me of? And there's going to be a lot of people doing this. It's going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Everybody keeps saying, wait till the Steelers play somebody, and they just keep beating down everybody that's in front of them. So this is a game that South Range has certainly had circled on the calendar all year. Naturally, they're a game-by-game team, but I'll tell you what, they beat Kirtland tonight, and I feel confident that they're going to give them a game and walk away with a big win. There's going to be a lot of people all over the Buckeye State saying, what is this South Range team all about?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
DJ mentioned house money. Is there a team in Youngstown that's playing with some house money tonight?
Oh, yeah, there's absolutely a team playing with some house money. We got Quinn up there at Stambaugh Stadium, and probably the most unlikely matchup when you get to the regional finals, and it has to be Ursuline taking on Mentor Lake Catholic, the 6th seed against the 3 seed. How do you guys see this one breaking down in Stambaugh tonight, guys?
I'll go first. So pretty much, you got Mentor Lake Catholic, the only double-digit seed left in this region. in any state. So it's going to be a good game. You got Mentor Lake Catholic coming in at 7-2. They run everything through their quarterback and Malcheski, who's a great dual threat guy. He rushes for over 1,000. Another guy that throws close to 1,000. So it's going to be a good matchup. I know Ursuline's down some bodies tonight, so it's that next man up mentality for the Irish here tonight.
When I look at it, they both have one common opponent. It's Cleveland-Villa Angela St. Joe's. Both of them were victorious this season against them. But I think the thing I like is, Ursuline's going to pass that ball around. They're going to spread the wealth. Does Mentor do the same thing when they face off tonight?
Go ahead.
I'm going to leave that to Richie to answer. He's the guru.
All right,
I'm going along for the ride.
I'm going to say
watching Richie.
I'm going to say they stick to their game plan tonight. I think they're going to run that read option with Malcheski. They don't throw it too often. The receivers haven't got much action all year long, so I think they're going to stick to what they've done this entire season. They're going to pound the ground against the Irish.
Richie, is that kind of a deal where they're daring you to stop the run?
Yeah, I mean, they really do. But against a defensive line in Ursuline that's young, but they showed last week against Poland that, it doesn't matter how young they are physical, they are tough, and they're going to get to the ball at the point of attack. So, you know what? I think Mentor Lake Catholic might have some trouble in that first quarter adjusting to a defensive line like Ursuline. But, yeah, they're going to dare you to stop that run game tonight.
Richie, last week when Ursuline just came out, I mean, they were certainly the underdog versus Poland. They came out and just laid it to them. Do you think, from what you've seen of Mentor Lake Catholic, are they a type of team that can bounce back if Ursuline comes out so strong again tonight?
It's tough to tell. Mentor Lake Catholic, they played an okay schedule, I'd say. They played Kirtland actually in week 1, which is one of the best teams they've played all year. But it's tough to see how they're going to bounce back if Ursuline would come out and throw a punch like that, especially because Mentor Lake Catholic, they got a forfeit in round 1. They beat CVCA. They were trailing 21-7 at half. So that, kind of tells me that they could bounce back if Ursuline would get that early lead. And then they won 7-0 against Canal Fulton Northwest. So I think if they are throwing that big haymaker in the first, they'll be able to adjust to it pretty well.
Well, if they're playing with house money then, Richie, there's no way Dan Reardon's taking his foot off the gas pedal because he knows that they can come back.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt. I think Dan Reardon, in the circumstance that he has tonight with a couple players out, you know what? It's going to be a tough game for them, but the way he has coached with this program, he's such a good coach, and he's going to have this team ready to go no matter who's out.
And that Mentor team is not a 12 seed. They're a 12 seed by number only.
Yeah, that might be the only one anybody missed in Ohio was giving them the 12th seed because they have not played like that throughout the postseason. And now we're here at New Middletown, and this is great because how many times in a kid's lifetime in Ohio do you get to play a regional championship game on your home field?
Yeah, really.
I mean, first time ever.
Right.
So for Springfield, this is going to be just a whale of a night. I looked at the Norwayne team walking in off the bus tonight. First thing that caught my eye, they got some size. Woo. They got a 6'5", 6'3" lineman. They got
I'm looking at their roster. It looks like an NBA team.
Yeah.
They got 6'3s and 6'5s. They're all like point guards.
Yeah, but I don't know if they can shoot from the outside.
No, I don't think so.
I'll audible to this. I'm going to take Bo Brungard and the Tigers all day long in this one because I just think they're going to seize a great opportunity. And how do you guys feel? And we'll start with Jamie first. What do you think of Springfield's chances tonight? Because this Norwayne team's pretty good. I mean, it's a battle of two undefeated teams.
Yeah, Springfield's pretty impressive. I got to see them a few weeks back. I mean, they just have too many weapons when you look at it. Multiple backs. You got Brungard who could throw all over the place. They got fast, physical linemen. And, I just think there's too many weapons for Springfield. I've said this all along. And you know what? I'm excited for this team to go out there, play on their home turf in the regional final. And I think they're going to come out victorious in a big way.
DJ, when you look at it, I know you've been on the Tigers bandwagon for years. What do you feel could be the difference for them tonight?
You said it's funny. You said about the other team coming off the bus. Isn't that the old college football like number one play? Is you get a big boy and the biggest guys get off the bus first to kind of set the tone. So I'm interested. I'm really interested. What Sean Guerrero has taught me over the course of this season is that it doesn't matter if they're going up against Norwayne. It doesn't matter if they're going up against Norway. They are going to stack the box. They are going to do what Springfield does. They play Springfield football, and you have to match them. And when you have somebody like Bo Brungard, when you have Clay Medbeck that can land 50-yard field goals, and basically anytime the ball is on the other team's side of the field, 3 points is a possibility. You are a super dangerous team. So I like the way Springfield handles their business. It's always a business trip. This time of the year, players can get emotional. Thinking about this could be my last game, all that stuff. Springfield punches the clock, and they expect to play the next week. And that's the difference between Springfield and some of the other teams that Springfield plays, is they know that not only do they have a chance, but even if they're the underdogs, they know that they're going to walk away victorious with their hand raised. So I've been just flabbergasted by the way they handle business over in New Middletown.
And Mike, we talk about Bo Brungard. He may not even be the best Brungard on the field tonight.
No.
There's a pretty decent Brungard snapping the ball to him.
Yeah. That's the one thing that, when you look down the Springfield roster, and you guys have seen this just from the games we've covered this season here on YSN, this Springfield team is just so business-like. I go all the way back to the Western Reserve game, and I remember sitting there, and I'm like, Western Reserve had the ball, drove. They came away with nothing. The defense held them out of there, and then all of a sudden, here comes that offense. Just so, here, let me put down my lunch pail. I'm going to gouge you for 20 on this play. Yeah. Here, wait, I got to grab it. I'm going to pick it up and sit it down at the line. I'm going to take you for 15 on this play. It's just so business-like here.
It's like the other team, before they even know what's going on, they're down. They're down by 2 scores.
Yeah, and
it doesn't even feel like it. It's like a slow, like you're like peeling a Band-Aid off of you slow.
Or you put duct tape on your arm and you just watch them scream. Because my thing about Springfield is they get that score, and then somehow the defense has made a big play to. So it's like.
Oh, I think we lost her. Mike, we lost you there for a minute.
Yeah. What I was saying was, I think that's something that could play in South Range's hand tonight, DJ, is if they get the score and then their defense makes a play to.
Yeah, you cut out again, but I'm just going to go off of what piecing words together. I'm with you. I think that it all comes down to stops, and I mean, this is going to be the coach speak coming out. I mean, I got them right here. It all comes down to turnovers, right? It all comes down to who can hold on the ball the best, and who can take the most advantage of their opportunities. I mean, if you get the ball on the other side of the field and that's where your starting position is, take it to the end zone. I don't think a field goal decides this game tonight. I think it's going to be 10 points one way or the other, and you already know my pick.
You got, you said Coach Bell's back there. What, did he buy his tickets late? But he's got the bleacher seats. You got the box seats. What's going on, man?
So here's the deal. Last night, Betos almost got me murdered in Warren, and we needed to get out of there so quickly, apparently, that we forgot a cord. So I've got Paul Munson scavenging the earth for a power cord for our audio, so we can make sure the good people of YS Nation get this game. So you can thank Jeff Betos, number one, if we're announcing like this from our computer tonight. But yeah, Coach Bell's back here. He was looking at film right before we got on. So, I mean, he's like, hey, do you want to look at film with me? And I was like, well, we got to do something. We got to go on. It's prime time, baby.
Speaking of prime time, did you see who just stepped in? The coach. And
my goodness.
Thorny, I love it. You look like Santa Claus. I just need a hat.
Hey, man, I'm here. I'm ready to go. That's all there is to it. Let's go.
Hey, Todd.
Yo.
Well, one Cheney legend and one Cheney graduate on the same screen. This is fantastic. You're the legend, of course.
I don't know about that, Nikki Z. In all circles.
There's too much one side in the house here.
That's right. But look at all the legends on the screen. Everybody's here. So, hey, we got a huge one tonight, man. Can't wait to get this thing rolling.
Ricky Avarilla said it's the big lefty from the bullpen. Let's go. I love it. Hey, we talked about Mentor's quarterback earlier, you two. Tell me about their defense. What stands out about Mentor Lake's defense that you guys have been able to see?
They run, senior laden. I mean, they run to the ball. They fly around on the field. They're fast. They're quick. They're big. They're athletic. And the funny part is when you're in that area, you think Mentor Lake Catholic, and Kirtland. Those are the three schools in the area. They're like varsity, JV, and junior high. And, the funny part is Kirtland might be the baby brother to the other two schools, but they're obviously the best in that area when it comes to state titles and the way the years have gone. But Mentor Lake Catholic gets their fair share of kids that come from Mentor, and they do run. They're very athletic. And the thing is, if you want to go to the private school, you go to Mentor Lake Catholic. If you want to go to the public school, you go to Mentor first. And if you can't make it at one of those two schools, then you're going to come down to Kirtland. And unfortunately for people in Division 7, Kirtland's just loaded. Sorry, what did you ask? Defense? I'm sorry, my bad.
We love listening to you. You're fine.
I love when you go off on tangents because usually you're calm, cool, collected, and never say anything.
Right, correct.
So
I have a question for Steve about this game that we're at tonight, Steve. I mean, you're in touch with the coaches all week, and certainly, we've covered how you're related to Sean. What's their mindset going in this whole week?
Well, he thought that this would be their best football game of the year. Obviously, Norwayne is very talented, have a couple big targets, good quarterback that likes to throw the football. So, but Sean is Sean. He's that disciple of Coach Tressel. He does a lot of things. They spend a lot of time as a coaching staff working on things. So, again, I'm going to say that he wasn't real pleased with the way they played last week and talking to them. Didn't come out and exactly say that, but I think you're going to see a football team tonight that's going to try to hit on all cylinders. And, Medved, the kicker, Thorny, he is huge when you can kick off and get teams touchbacks and start the ball. So I think the Tigers roll tonight. I really do. And here tonight, a couple guys down, but DJ, you know this as well as anybody. This Ursuline team will be prepared. This coaching staff will have them ready to play. It may be a different pace and a different style, but don't sleep on the Irish in this football game because it's a game they could win.
Hey, Dave, just make sure P Money knows that I've taken the Irish all the way through. You got that? I've been all over them since day one. These guys know it, so.
Hey, that's just for bragging rights, right? Not monetary.
Hey, let me tell you something. Rears knows what he does, and he's got great staff out there that just take it after it. So I'm not going to be shocked at anything that happens tonight.
Steve mentioned a disciple of Tressel. I see one on the field right now. I see Mark Brungard on the field playing with Bo.
Yeah,
you want to talk about some good coaching right there.
Wow, studs.
Yeah,
absolutely great kids, great staff. Man, I'll tell you, he said one. The Medved kid, I mean, Cincinnati, I'm on the phone with Doug Phillips during a broadcast last year because he wants to know about this kid, how good he is. I'm going, how good can he be? He's a Division I kid that puts it in the end zone and puts it through the pipes. What else can you ask? So he's got
and his dad played there.
That's not too bad. But DJ, you know this as well as anybody. These three football teams, how good are their leaders?
I mean, it comes down to they embody their head coach more than probably any other school in the lineup of YSN. I mean, you look at, my goodness, you look at South Range, and from top down, the pyramid starts with Dan Yeagley. 25 years he's been doing this. Had the opportunity to step in with him, do a coach's corner with he and his wife, and you can just see he's real. He's authentic. He cares about the kids. He cares about the kids' families, and he cares about leading them into success, not just for football at the next level, but for life. And I think the same thing can be said for the other two coaches as well. Sean Guerrero has a great reputation for caring about his kids in Springfield, and we don't even need to start to get into Dan Reardon. I mean, what he's done for Ursuline, I mean, just think back 2 years ago to what this program was and how quickly he's turned it around here in Youngstown. It's amazing. I mean, we are blessed to have so many great leaders in our area, and it's more than just football, but we're just being able to highlight these three tonight, and oh my goodness, as Coach Yeagley would say, it's going to be an exciting night, and hopefully we have three teams moving on tomorrow as well.
Let me ask you this. All year long, South Range has been the favorite every game they've gone into. Tonight is the first time. I still think they were favored over Poland, so don't you go to it.
It depends on who you ask.
They were the home team, and it was the first week. So I'm giving them
they played in a monsoon, Mike.
but that's not why they won that game. They won that game because they played better.
You're right.
This is the first time that you could, I think in my book, that you can honestly say underdog. That mentality that he probably was able to give them this week was immense.
Yeah, in talking to Coach Yeagley and talking to Luke Crumbacher and a couple other guys, I asked him, is it more fun to play the underdog role? Because this is really, depending on, again, on who you ask, this is the first time that you've been underdogs all year. And they basically broke it down and said, listen, we feel no pressure. And it's the best because we feel hype. They feel like they can run through a wall. And right now you look at the field, they're loose, which is a great – it's a great thing for South Range because they play better when they're comfortable, when they're loose, when they're playing South Range football. It's not flashy. It's not exactly what you're going to see on Madden 21, but it's something that gets the job done. And it's exciting to watch from our standpoint because you have one of the top quarterbacks in an RPO offense playing on any field he's on in Michael Petrone, and I can't wait for that.
Hey, I don't know if Coach Bell can hear me at all, or if you can help relay this for me. Yeah, Coach. Steve's mentioning about Ursuline, and Todd was mentioning about Ursuline and up mentality. What do you say to a kid who's not normally a starter at this point of the playoffs? What do you say to him to motivate him, or is it self-motivation?
It's got to be self-motivation at this point. If you can't get up for a playoff game, you can't get up for anything. That's the end of the day. You don't motivate a kid at this point. I mean, the game motivates yourself.
What is if you sense any kind of jitters or from a kid? Is there something you could say to him, or do you kind of let that play out?
You know what? I think you just tell the kid, hey, hit somebody hard the first play of the game, it'll all be okay. Yeah. That's really the truth of it at that point. You get that first hit out of the game, it's all over at that point.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'll tell you what, Coach Reardon said all week, and I've been around the Reardons long enough to know that back 5 years ago when he was at McKinley, they were playing Massillon, and they didn't have the manpower. There were people down, their quarterback was out, and all Coach Reardon said was, you can't beat them. They're better than you. They're bigger than you. They're faster than you. They're stronger than you. You can't beat them. And I guarantee he's saying that today.
No doubt.
You kids, we cannot beat Mentor Lake Catholic, and it just works to their favor. Every time he just does great things with his kid.
DJ, one for me.
Motivator.
Yeah. For you guys in Forney. DJ, sitting there. How good are the coordinators on all three of these staffs?
Oh, no.
Yeah. Let's hear at Ursuline first. JD Johnson, AD offensive coordinator, Ryan Kelly defensive coordinator. DJ, I know you're Coach Rock is one of the best defensive dudes around. You sit with a good defensive guy yourself, and then doesn't get much better than Coach Bradford and Slopek as the defensive coordinator. So shout out to those guys because those are the guys who do a lot of preparing, a lot of game planning. And I'm with Thorny. This Ursuline football got a little chip on their shoulder. We watched them warm up. They got something to prove tonight. It's coming.
Hey, Stevie, I got a question for you. The last time you and I were in the booth together, we watched Mooney versus Ursuline last year. They brought out the white helmets. They brought out the white jerseys. They ghosted it out, and they were hyped up. Is there any plans for anything tonight to kind of send it over the top here at Stanbaugh?
You know what?
Jerseys right off the bat, unless it changes.
Yeah, exactly. So who knows? Let me tell you something. Reardon has more surprises for games.
It'll be something, right? It'll be something.
It'll be a motivational.
There's no doubt about it. He's going to do something.
It'll be a sticker. It'll be a decal. It'll be some, gloves, wristbands, whatever. It will be something.
Talk about Santa Claus. That's Dan Reardon's the Santa Claus of Ursuline.
But for Thorny and I, here's what we got. I saw JD. You'll see who we have when the game starts. Period. Don't know who it's going to be. No. Don't know where it's going to be. They're going to find a way to win the football game.
Don't forget, last week at defensive end, they go without their senior who's out with the shoulder injury. Next thing you know, they got a freshman playing.
Right.
Poland doesn't even recognize this freshman because he ends up being the one who knocks the ball loose so that number 18 gets the touchdown. Campbell. It was ridiculous.
So a powerful team like Poland, a power running team.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got to be next man up. And Coach Bell, I love your observation. you're not motivating a freshman or a sophomore right now in a regional final. It's either game on or go home, and I think it's game on for this football team.
I agree to that. Absolutely.
I'm gonna make a suggestion. I think Stevie Les has one more year of eligibility. I think you burn it right here tonight for the Ursuline Irish. You go out and kick or something, or be a wedge breaker.
There you go.
I need my blocking dude
That's
here.
right. Hey,
well, I could run a little curl. I don't know how far I'll get. I'll catch it.
And you know what? And we always say it, right? At this point of the season, you're not a freshman anymore. You're not a sophomore anymore. If you're a freshman, you're really a sophomore. You've played enough. You have enough experience. If you're a sophomore, you're now a junior. You know what? You have it all under your belt. Just go play the game.
Well, the one thing we do know, Coach DeSantis will be down on the field, not in the booth as the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's going to be a key thing for them. JD will be down in touch with, if it's Erickson, the freshman quarterback, that's who will be in close contact.
Absolutely. And that's good. That's a good thing, running them in and out, running the plays out there. So it's always a good thing to have your and they got so many booth guys that are good. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference. The coolest, I think, ever is the fact that Ryan Kelly and his father, Pat Kelly, are on the headsets together. I mean, how cool is that you and your dad are literally conversing during the game and changing defenses? It's one of the greatest things.
That's how they go, West Side. You know that, West Side.
Now, calm down.
It's Cheney guys.
Yeah.
Oh. How excited is it over in Menor? It has to be.
It's kind of quiet right now. It's that quiet before the storm. The majority of the South Range faithful are partying out in the parking lot. So we pulled in and we just saw a bunch of burgundy and gold just surrounding like a side lot. Yeah. And I mean, they're gonna get loud. They don't go anywhere without being loud. They're loud everywhere they go, and that's what makes them South Range.
What about this? What a difference a week makes, huh? 7 days ago, it's 30 degrees colder than this. You're in shorts tonight, enjoying this game. This got to make a big difference to these kids too. It's got to pump the kids up a little bit, knowing that they're not going to out there freezing and crackling every time they hit somebody.
I think it's a coach's dream that you go into tonight's game. It was 70+ degrees today, but at the same time, you also have to have the kids prepared, don't you, Coach?
Oh, you absolutely do. And the nice thing is, all these guys that want to go out and look like tough guys, with their short sleeve shirts and stuff right now, they're not tough guys. It's too nice out. It's too nice out. Everybody's a tough guy. Even the wide receivers and defensive backs look tough.
The only one who I know is dressed tough is probably Thorny. I know he's got the sleeves rolled up or something.
Yeah, I can't even stand up right now. Believe me, I'm all set to go. I got my hands taped, wrist taped. I got my eye black ready to go. Give me a couple minutes. I'll be out there.
And you got your Twizzlers in your lap.
No Twizzlers tonight.
He got more candy up here than you could.
No Twizzlers tonight, buddy. No Twizzlers.
Nuts.
He looks like he's going to a movie. Yeah.
I am. This is entertainment.
He's going to see the production of Menor Lake.
Don't make me give the old Mario DiMartino speech.
Yeah.
$6. That's all it costs for all this entertainment. $6.
But DJ,
Mario DiMartino line?
Absolutely.
Yeah. DJ, how lucky are we, though, to have Richie and Thorny obviously call this when you and Coach Bell, Jamie Thompson, and then for all of us to be able to do this. I have to give a shout-out to Coach Pav and the Canfield Cardinals. I do. I was there last night. Mike, obviously not one of their best performances. Coach Bell, we talk about it all the time. You can't turn the ball over and fumble going into the end zones and doing those types of things. But Coach Pavlansky, what a great coach he is, what a leader he is. That football team, salute to them for a season that those kids would be nothing but proud of.
I think it was a great season for Canfield. It didn't end up the way they were hoping to or expected it to, but I think that's great for them. But how about JFK?
Yeah, on the flip side.
We all get to say,
coming with tonight.
Listen, he was on fire last night. I mean, we talked about it. You heard everybody talk about JFK and how they're just lucky they played this team, or they're lucky they played this team, because if they play Lucas, Lucas is going to run it up. But let me tell you something last night, boys. Lucas stepped on that field and didn't know what they were up against. They were up against, every person on that field, every player, every coach, everybody from JFK that had a giant K on, they were on point. They were on a mission. JFK has arrived, and they arrived last night, and good luck the rest of the way to anybody playing them, especially Newark.
What a job by Coach Logan in a rookie season as a head coach, isn't it? Unbelievable.
Can you imagine that? I mean, this is, you talk about Cinderella seasons. You go through all the COVID stuff. You take over for a legendary coach in Jeff Bayek, and then all of a sudden you're in the state semifinals. Like, and Jeff Bayek, he said when he resigned that he didn't want to leave the cupboards bare for whoever was the next coach at Kennedy. And tip of the cap to him, because I don't think they're bare. I don't even think they're close. I think there's a lot of coaches, probably 51 other ones on the YSN roster that would say, I would love to have any one of those youngsters play any one of my spots in any one of my positions, which Cam Hollabaugh can play each and every one of those positions. He is the Kennedy Swiss Army knife.
Love it. I absolutely love it. So I'll start with you, DJ. You look at, we'll break down South Range one more time.
Yep.
What's the keys to a victory for them tonight?
Low turnover numbers, win the turnover battle, number one. Keep doing the RPO. Keep doing what's great with them is if you key on Patron, Dominguez is going to burn you, and vice versa. You key on Dominguez, Patron's going to go combine for 400 like he did last week. I really think the outlier is going to be Luke Crumbacher. I think they're going to focus or key on both the backs in the backfield, Dominguez and Patron, and I think Crumbacher is going to have a big night, maybe 6-7 catches, over 200 yards, and 3 tutties. And I think that's going to be the big one. I mean, we saw him a couple weeks ago, 3 receptions, 177 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And I think it's another opportunity tonight because he's just got that speed that you can't catch. You just can't manipulate it. You can't put anybody on him and still have enough guys to stop the 2 backs in the backfield. So that's my key.
Shootout or a low-scoring game? Which favors South Range?
I would say a low-scoring game would favor South. That's a good question. I didn't get that one yet. We look at the scoreboard when we came in, and it still had last week's score, 43-6, on the scoreboard. So a little bit of checking, gamesmanship and checking the box early. So when South Range arrived, they saw what Kirtland put up. So I think the low-scoring affair actually is advantage South Range because that means that their defense is doing a great job against this offense.
I noticed when Mike asked that question, Coach, I noticed you're going, please play. You're in your mind. Please play defense. Please play defense. Come on.
Well, that's the thing. Like you look at Kirtland's defense. They're a single high safety. They're 3-3 stacks that are sitting 1 high. So they're gonna threaten you to throw the ball. They want you to throw the ball.
He can show you. You thought I was joking that he's watching film. He's watching film.
Yeah. So like if they're basically challenging you to throw the ball. They're gonna stop the run. They're gonna spin their defense so they can adjust. It's gonna be exciting. I'm excited. I can't wait to see this. After watching last week's. Patron run the ball like he did. Like I'm so excited to see like between him and the Burgundy Bull. Like it's going to be exciting. I can't wait.
And don't forget, folks, you can watch any of these games. $9.99. Yep. You can flip between them if you want to, and 25% of it goes to the school. And DJ, thank you for that. This is an absolute bargain for anybody out there.
Yeah, make sure you thank Jeff Bezos if you hear me and Coach Bell shouting in the computer all night.
If you want, I can throw him off the roof here at Springfield.
Go.
Yeah.
Wait. Let's put it on. Make sure that people pay for it. So there's a little bit of money for whatever happens to his health bills.
Yeah. Come right back up because Bumble counts.
All right. So now I go to Thorny and I go to Steve. DJ told us what's got to happen there. What's got to happen for the Irish to get to the state semifinals?
First of all, they need to play defense. Hands down. You got to play defense. You got to keep a low-scoring game on their opposition. But the big key for them is running the ball. They need to run it. They need whoever they're putting at the running back spot tonight just to literally pound up field, work the middle of that field, go right at the defensive line. Like I said, they're sitting in a 4-2-5 defense. They play a lot of defensive backs. They roll them up, pretty much into the linebacker spot. But they're fast and athletic. But I still think Ursula needs to just run right at them.
Coach, I know you've looked at a lot of film this week, Steve. What's your impression coming into this one?
I'm with Thorny, and I guess my first question is probably for Coach Bell. The key for me is they have to stop a dual threat quarterback, somebody that can, with the RPOs, that's going to be a key to the game. I'm going to give you a name to keep an eye on. Nate Burney is one for Ursuline fans to keep an eye on. And this Erickson kid as a freshman is a very good quarterback that I got a lot of confidence in JD as the offensive coordinator, the quarterback coach, Coach Bell, to give him a game plan that he can be successful in. You go out, doesn't need to go out and win the game. Just do what they're capable of doing. And I'm with Thorny. If they play good defense, I think they win a tight one. I do.
Yeah, just don't lose the game, right?
Right.
Just go out there. Don't lose the game for him. He just needs to go out there and play within the scheme, hand the ball off, give it to the better athlete. That's what we always told him. Tell the quarterback, give the ball to the better athlete. Let him go score.
But I think I do. I think we go 3-0 tonight. I think we do.
I'm with Steve. And I'll tell you what, these 4 linebackers for Ursuline, they're key, they're clutch, they're good. They get side to side better than any team in our area, period. I've seen a lot of teams play. They're the best side-to-side linebacking core in our area.
Thorny and Steve, last week we were saying if Ursuline got to about 24 points or above, that would knock Poland out of that game. Is there a point total you think tonight that Ursuline needs to get to knock out Middle Lake Catholic?
I don't know a point total, but I know a point spread. They get to 14 points up, they're going to win the game. I think they're going to break Middle Lake Catholic if they get to 14 points up, because Middle Lake Catholic also knows what Ursuline has. So, I think they get up 14 points, 2 scores. That's a big thing in Coach Reardon's book in mind also. You get up 2 scores on someone, you should be able to put them away.
Coach Bell, this one's for you. The option quarterback for Middle Lake Catholic, how important is it for the Irish players to stay in their lanes, stay on their blocks, read the keys?
It's all about discipline, right? Whatever your responsibility is, do that. If you have quarterback, you have quarterback. You have dive, you have dive. You have pitch, you have pitch. I mean, it just comes down to doing your job. We talked about that last week, right? About doing your job. If you do your job, then your team will be successful. If you try to do your own thing or freelance it, that's when stuff breaks down.
All right, when the season started, we all said Springfield would be the one team. We were all on that bandwagon that would be the team. Nick came in the very first night. He's like, I got the Tigers. None of you got, but we were all on board. I look at them tonight. I've been watching Norwayne warm up here. I think the Tigers' speed is got to be key for them tonight. I think that they're going to spread the wealth on offense. Brungard, even when he makes an incomplete pass, it looks great. I just like the way they approach and play the game. So I like their chances, but I think the thing that will be key for the Tigers to move into the state semifinals is how their defense plays. How can they stop the quarterback over the top? Can the DBs make the right play? Can they get enough pressure maybe to make that quarterback feel uncomfortable? Is there anything you guys are seeing maybe that I'm not saying about Springfield that has to do tonight?
They just got to get the ball in the other team's range. You know what I mean? Get it across the 50, and you're in good spot. And you look at that team. You look at Norway, and you look at Springfield, 21-0 last week. I think that, as Steve said, that set the tone for this week. I think that is the best case scenario for Coach Carrero, is that without losing the game, you still kind of took a shot across the bow, that nothing is given, nothing is to take nothing for granted. And I think that Springfield can take that win last week, and now you're going to see the real Springfield team this week. You're going to see what they have to show. And again, I would not be surprised if they put a 40 burger with cheese on the board tonight.
Offensive line out there at Springfield, it's incredible. That's a great group of linemen. I've seen them a bunch of times on film. Let me tell you something. Those kids get after it, starting right up front with the Brungard kid. So phenomenal offensive line.
I'm with Mike on this. I think this is a defense is the key tonight for Springfield. You got a Norway team that's scored over 100 points the past 2 games. They got a 6'2" quarterback that's thrown for over 1,600 yards. The kid can throw the ball. They can put points on the board. Springfield's going to have to play defense to win this game. But as we mentioned earlier, I've been on the Springfield train since August, so I'm staying on it.
I think Springfield's line is one of the best athletic lines in the area.
Oh, yeah.
These kids can move, and they're not afraid to just knock the snot out of you.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing in talking with Sean, he loves their defensive line. Coach Bell, you love this as a defensive coordinator. When Creston Norway's going to pass the football, they're going to be able to get to the quarterback with a 4-man rush. That's key for a great defense.
That's huge. I mean, when you can get pressure with your 4 down linemen, then you can play games with your outside backers, your inside backers. You start draining people from different places. You know, guys get get home free, and it just makes a big difference. Plus, you just drop into those passing lanes, and you make it difficult to get that underneath, that slant route, that curl route, any of that stuff. So, you know, that's when you start getting interceptions. You know, you get underneath the route, they have to throw it high, then you're getting an easy pick.
It's awesome. I mean, we're sitting here. It's almost 6:15. We're 45 minutes away from kickoff. We've got about 15 minutes left here on the
stands are starting to fill up a little bit.
Yeah, people are flowing in.
And, you know,
here.
we've been talking about it all year too, Mike. My drive in here, I went through Poland and came down 170 into Spring. As soon as you got to Springfield, the signs, the banners, I thought there were still Halloween decorations because they were orange and black, but they were tiger decorations. And oh my gosh, the community support! I know it's the same way out in North Lyman, and it's, you know, definitely the Ursuline backers have been around forever.
Well, I know there's a neighbor right across the road here. They got tombstones up for Mogador and everything. They're definitely looking at one for Norway. So
DJ, I think there was an Undertaker sighting over there, actually.
He's only got one more, so he could be anywhere right now.
He's lurking.
Let me tell you, it's a great party.
Oh, yeah. I think, you know, great night for football. We know the fans are limited. So, of course, what's your ticket? YSN. That way you get to see a little Patron, Brungard, and a lot of Irish. So you get to see all that tonight for $9.99. And you can flip it to any of those games that you want. We're going to have the Joe Dickey scoreboard for you after the game, unless they shut the lights out on you guys there. But I'm making Springfield stay open.
Well, it's a Joe Dickey electric scoreboard, so we'll keep the lights on.
Yeah, we'll keep the lights on. But I love this. Like, I can't wait. Like, I'm actually I've been excited all day. And I wish I could be in 3 places at once. And luckily for YSN, I'm going to be watching all 3 games.
You're in 3 places at once right now, Mike. Congrats.
Yeah. I'll be tuned in. Yeah, I'll be tuned in to all 3 games. There's no doubt about that. I got the laptop ready to go up here, and I will be honed in on all 3 games. Obviously, Thorny and Richie here will do a great job coaching and Deej there and Jamie Thompson. Can't get any better to listen to those, and we're the place to be tonight. There's no doubt about it.
We're the only show in the Yo. That's how we've been promoting. So I'm excited for that. Hey, Steve, while I have you, we might need your tech experience up here. So if you wouldn't mind just shooting up to Menor real quick to make sure this audio board gets plugged in.
We're done here. If you want to FaceTime me, I can walk you through some of those things. You know, I could use some of my vocational skills. But again, great though. Once again, I mean, power cord is a pretty important thing.
It's just a power cord, right?
That's what
Jeff said.
Just plug it in.
No, I'm kidding. Anyhow, I think, and I we definitely have a chance for all 3 local teams to get to the state semifinals. And I can't remember the last time that would put 4 into the state semifinals. I don't think in my 30 years in Youngstown, I don't ever remember that happening.
I'm going on record right now. We're 3 for 3 tonight. We're going 3 for 3.
Nick's 3 for 3. I'm thinking 3 for 3. Jay, you thinking 3 for 3?
I'm taking 3 for 3. I went 5 for 5. Excuse me, 5 for 5. And I think that I think we go 3 for 3 tonight. 5 for fighting. I know you love those hockey references, Mike.
We're having a few.
We're starting to lose you guys a little bit.
Starting to lose you guys a little bit.
It's the AC/DC playing in the background.
We got AC/DC playing here. What do you guys got playing there? What's the standball? What do we got? What's on the music?
We don't have any music on Thorny up here.
Yeah, we're quiet. We're
quiet
right
up here in the quiet shoelaces. So all quiet.
Although tech
DJ right next to you, we got no music.
No, we hear crickets, man. They're just down there eyeing each other up. I mean, it's like it's kind of like when a python in one of those pet stores has a rat. It just kind of it's slow, and all of a sudden just circles them up and squeezes them to death. Like South Range is ready to go, dude. I have never seen this before in my life. Usually you got Munson cranking the tunes and the Metallica. No music. They're ready to go.
We got Guar playing over here, man. It's a little bit of.
I'm so looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to this tonight. We got DJ and Coach on the call up in Kirtland. We got Thorny and Richie on the call at the Ursuline game, and we got Jamie and Romo here. I mean, this is going to be just a fantastic night.
It is going to be a fantastic night, and as you said, Mike, I mean, if you're not here, and it's terrible that you're not here because it's such a great atmosphere, or at Ursuline or ISU or up in Menor, but man, you can watch it at home, relax, pop. You can go on the deck tonight and watch it. It's such a nice night. Maybe build a bonfire and watch it. Whatever you want to do. $9.95. This is what it's all about, and this is especially in a year of such bad things every day this year. This high school football playoffs every weekend has been fantastic.
Watch it from home.
I mean, you can't beat it. And
Coach Ward, right?
the DJ, the Steve, the Thorny, just to put this all together this year. I mean, fabulous guys, just fabulous for everybody.
No, I mean,
and we're not done yet.
We talked about it last week. I mean, this is new, right? You take our technology we use every day and you make it into prime time so we can be multiple places at once. But, that's what we do, right? We take what we want to do and we go with it. And if we fail, we fail, and we'll do better next time. But Mike and Nick, you guys were gunners on the battleship YSN for the last 10 weeks, and kudos to you for being able to run it through all the technical difficulties, and kudos to Brian Scott for being able to chug through all the things that were on my wish list. And I joked with my wife before I left. I said, I've got an hour 39 to go to Menor, and usually when I'm in the car by myself, that's when I get the ideas. So that means Brian's in trouble on the way home. So we'll have some good stuff for basketball season, I'm sure, by the time I get home. But Betos will have an hour and 40 head start on me as well. So,
hey, DJ, I just remember that. DJ, I remember that conversation that we had back in March or April about Mike Ackelson coming on board. And we just kept talking, you and I, about, hey, what a better place than to have him with us along with Nikki Z on Friday nights and Saturday nights, because they love those back-to-backers, just pumping our system. And once again, everything that we do also comes down to these guys right here, man. These sponsors, that week in, week out, they keep putting it out there. They keep allowing to get on air, and they are just phenomenal. And we read through them every game at least 4 or 5 times to make sure that these guys know that we appreciate everything that they do, from Coco's Pizza to G. Burbick Farms and everything in between.
South Bend just showed up in mass, like walked in a giant mass. It was like it was like a parade of burgundy and gold. So they are here now, and they are all tuned up. They're ready to go. And the music's on. We're ready to rock.
Yeah.
About that.
Absolutely.
It's about that time.
It is about that time. We got 10 minutes left in the show. What's cool about all this is this is a season that probably most people didn't expect to happen, and here we are in week 11, and people can watch from the comfort of their own home. What matter where they're at on the COVID spectrum, they can just tune it up for $9.99 and watch whatever game they want. Hopefully, they bought last night, so they got to see that JFK game too. But it's the best thing going. I really do believe that. We got 99% positivity about YSN. I'm sure there's a couple haters out there, but you're always going to have that whenever you do what we do, and that's kick ass each and every weekend. So, guys, let's do it one more week and see where we go next week.
Absolutely. We're in. We got the old man back finally. He showed up.
I had to get some Starburst and some hot dogs.
There we go. Of course.
Not bad. Nothing.
The legend.
Nothing too much.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we lost Mike. I think they're frozen somewhere in New Middletown. So the temperature must have dropped a little bit with the Wi-Fi. So we'll wrap it up a little bit early. And what we'll do is everybody take your seats, go buy the virtual ticket, as it's called on YSN, and make sure you get tuned in early, because we got some great games tonight, 3 of them to be exact, right here on the network, right here on YSN. Richie, have a good call. Thorny, have a good call, and we'll see you guys on the other side.
You got it.